Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and get right into the mess. Today we're going to be talking about 50 Cent versus Oprah. Now, for once I'm on 50 Cent's side. I never really agreed with 50 Cent about anything. I really don't like this brother, to tell you the truth, but today I'm here for 50 Cent and I stand behind him 1000%. So apparently Oprah is working on a documentary to expose Russell Simmons. She's bringing forth 3 accusers that say that Russell Simmons was very inappropriate with them and that Russell forced himself upon them without them giving Russell their consent. So once this news broke that Oprah would be conducting such an interview, or better yet a documentary to expose Russell Simmons, 50 Cent wasn't here for it, and he posted this on his Instagram, and this is what he had to say. Alright, and it says, "I don't understand why Oprah is going after black men. No Harvey Weinstein, no Epstein, just Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons. This blank is sad. Gail hit Robert with a career-ending blow documentary. These documentaries are publicly convicting their targets. It makes them guilty till proven innocent." Alright, so we heard what 50 Cent had to say, and he basically called Oprah out for targeting black men. And I just want to let you guys know that I didn't read 50 Cent's statement, or response rather, in its full context because it had some disturbing things in there. If you guys would like to check out what he really said in its totality, I advise you to run over to his Instagram and read it for yourself, because I know it's kind of out of pocket. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that. Now, Russell seems to be hurt by this whole entire situation. To know that Oprah is definitely behind this takedown of black men, especially when you thought that she was a true friend of yours, it has to be devastating. So Russell took to his Instagram to express his true thoughts and feelings, and this is what he had to say. I'm going to read some of it, not all of it, because it's rather lengthy. Alright, and it says, "Dearest Oprah, you have been a shining light to my family and my community, contributing so much to my life that I couldn't list a fraction of it in this blog. I have given you the gift of meditation and the groundbreaking book, The Power of Now. We bonded, to say the least. This is why it's so troubling that you choose me to single out in a recent documentary. I have already admitted to being a playboy, more appropriately titled today, womanizer, sleeping with and putting myself in more compromising situations than almost any man I know. Not 8 or 14,000 like Warren Beatty or Wilt Chamberlain, but still an embarrassing number. So many that some could reinterpret or reimagine a different recollection of the same experiences. Please note that your producer said that this upcoming doc was to focus only on 3 hand-chosen women. I have refused to get in the mud with any accusers, but let's acknowledge what I have shared. I have taken and passed 9 3-hour lie detector tests taken for my daughters, that these stories have been passed on by CNN, NBC, BuzzFeed, NY Post, NY Mag, and others. Now that you have reviewed the facts, and you should have learned what I know, that these stories are unusable and that hurt people. Today I received a call from an old girlfriend from the early 1980s, which means that they are using my words / evidence against me, and their commitment / all of the claims are 25 to 40 years old. It is impossible to prove what happened 40 years ago. But in my case, proof exists of what didn't happen. Mostly signed letters from their own parents, siblings, roommates, band members, interns, and in the case of 2 of your 3 accusers, their own words in their own books. Shocking how many people have misused this important, powerful revolution for relevance and money. Maybe you should name your documentary Flavor of Love. In closing, I'm guilty of exploiting, supporting, and making the soundtrack of a grossly unequal society. But I have never been violent or forced myself on anyone. Still, I am here to help support a necessary shift in power and consciousness. Let us get to work on uplifting humanity and put this moment and old narrative behind. All right, so I know that I said that I was only going to read a part of what Russell had to say in response to Oprah doing this documentary, but something just came over me. You know what I'm saying? I caught the spirit. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to read the whole entire thing so you could get Russell's side of things. I thought that it was only right and fair because he's the one that's being accused of these allegations. And since Oprah is doing a documentary on him, I felt that he needed to, be heard to the full out extent. Now, let me say this, guys, and I want y'all to hear me very clear. For the 10th time, I'm going to tell you all, Oprah has to fulfill a contract. Do you think that Oprah got to where she is just by being Oprah? There's some things that she had to agree to be able to accomplish what she has accomplished in her life. Now, it's time for her to pay her dues. They are coming to collect. And whatever deal she made, and there are probably many stipulations of that deal, but one of them being that she will help lead this charge to take down black men. You see, her close friend, Harvey Weinstein, just got off. All right. His company is going to pay $20-something million just to settle everything with all the accusers. All right. And with that deal, he doesn't have to admit any guilt. All right. Meanwhile, while we have Bill Cosby serving time in prison, half blind, you know what I'm saying? For the same amount of money that Bill Cosby could shell out if he wanted to, if they allowed him to, and he wouldn't have to do any prison time. But what they tried to do is make an example out of us, and they always conform and make sure that they take care of their own. Harvey Weinstein is getting off scot-free. Do you think that Oprah is ever going to do a documentary exposing her friend and Harvey Weinstein? Absolutely not. Don't you know that there's always roundtable meetings that they have, to discuss how they can keep the minorities in position of no power and how to keep them in position of power? And so they use different tactics and different ways to actually execute their plan. And don't think for one moment, guys, that Oprah really cares about us. She doesn't. She does not care about us. She has a duty and an obligation to fulfill, and it doesn't involve us. This is a pact that she made a long time ago before she became Oprah. Now it's time to pay the piper. Now it's time to do everything that contract told her that she needed to do before she leaves this earth, or else. So guess what? Guess who's going to take the fall for it? African American men. All right. And African American women should not feel excluded either, because I guarantee you there is a plan put in place to minimize them as well, to minimize our women as well. I'm just saying, this is just my opinion. This is how I feel, because it's a shame that you can't even trust your own kind to do the right thing by you. All right. We all want to live in a world where it's, togetherness, where everyone is treated equal, and it should be that way. But when you have certain people within your community that have made, certain deals to get to where they are, they actually become a servant for other people when they're supposed to be serving our race to get us where we need to be, to put us in position of power themselves. But what they do, what those folks in Hollywood do, is they throw a wrench in the game and they compromise that. All right. They compromise that by putting all these stipulations and details and contracts and things of that nature to forbid African American men and women that have a little power as far as money and fame and things of that nature to be able to uplift other people within their community with high hopes of changing the next generation lives forever. You see what I'm saying? So one day that this country, as far as race is concerned, we'll be looking eye to eye instead of looking at the waistline and they're looking over us because we're so low that they can't see us. All right. And with that said, I'm going to let this go and let y'all have that in the comments. Drop down and give me your true thoughts and assessments. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll get with you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.